Happy Halloween! I'm Gabby the Clown, and welcome to the Haunted Circus. God, that was lame. Anyway, today's topic is creepypastas, and why I love them. I'm going to be talking about some of my favorite ones, and why I think they're awesome, and also I go off on a lot of tangents about how, shaming people for being cringe is lame. So be prepared for a lot of tangents and rants, because these videos are all rambles, but this video is probably the rambliest. But I also had the most fun with this one that I've had with a video in a while, and I really liked it, and I hope you do too. Obviously, spoilers for like a bunch of creepypastas. So yeah, basically any creepypasta, because I talk about like basically anyone that pops into my head. Obviously the ones on the thumbnail, Jeff the Killer, Slenderman, Laughing Jack, Cupcakes, like all that jazz. And also, content warning, because, you know how creepypastas are. There's gonna be like, descriptions of violence and like horror and stuff. So if that makes you uncomfortable, absolutely feel free to skip this video, no shame at all, and have a happy Halloween. Also, no kids, ever. Be gone. If you're a minor, please go away. I don't want you here. No hate, but please leave. Anyway, let's get on with the video. So growing up, I didn't have a ton of internet access, at least not without one of my parents around to make sure that I wasn't, seeing stuff I shouldn't see, which is very good, because it spared me a lot of the trauma that my generation suffered at the hands of stuff like salad fingers, happy tree friends, and the topic of today's video, creepypastas. So I'm relatively new to creepypastas. I'm relatively newish to the internet. So I've been, trying to catch up so that I know what people are talking about. And on my little journey to, catch up with the internet, I've fallen in love with creepypastas. They're so goofy and charming. If they're bad, then they're just really funny. But if they're good, they're really good. I think, some, really good ones, I found most of them through Lavender Town's Creepypasta series, which is just really freaking good. And I would highly recommend that to anybody who wants to get into creepypastas, but they're like, oh, I don't care about Jeff the Killer or freaking Slenderman. I want to know about cool ones. Even though Jeff the Killer and Slenderman are cool, but they're cool in a different way. They're cool because they're iconic. But anyway, so, I didn't really know anything about creepypastas growing up, but I was exposed to Slenderman, relatively young, because I saw a trailer for the Slenderman movie while I was spending the night at my grandma's house once, because we didn't have cable, so whenever we went to my grandma's house, we would always, fall asleep watching, Food Network and cable TV, because she had it and we didn't. But right as I was about to fall asleep, watching freaking Guys Grocery Games or something, a trailer came on for the Slenderman movie. I don't know if it's the same one that everyone says is bad. I don't know if there's multiple, but I remember very vividly that there were I think it was probably the last shot of the trailer, but it's Slenderman hovering over this sleeping child, and his Slenderman doesn't have a face, but he unhinged his jaw and ripped his face open to eat them, I guess. But I didn't see what happened after that. It ended after he opened his he created a mouth for himself, and that stuck with me so much. It freaked me out. I had a nightmare. But that has stuck with me, because that was just such, looking back at it now as someone who is, really into horror and, a little less easily scared, it's just a freaking cool visual, dude. so like a couple years later, I was trying to design some monsters, because my uncle was like, hey, can you like design some monsters for me? I'm gonna write a book. And I was like, okay, yeah, I want to do that. So I started like making a bunch of random monster designs, and one of them was basically a mix of Slender Man and like a siren kind of. Like it was like this really pretty lady, but she didn't have a face. And then like on like the second page I drew her like with her like making herself a mouth, like ripping open like the lower half of her face. Cause it's just cool as shit, dude. It's really freaking awesome. And I haven't seen that replicated like anywhere else. So if you know of any like horror series that do that, can you like share that with me? Cause that's so cool, dude. That's my shit. That's so freaking sick. So yeah, I found out about Slenderman before I even knew what a creepypasta was. I didn't even like know his name at the time, I don't think. I was just like, that's freaky faceless guy. Holy shit, dude. That's so scary. And then later, when Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children came out, I don't remember what the names of those monsters are off the top of my head, but I remember that I had horrible anxiety after watching that movie for the first time, because those things are freaky. So I guess in like my child mind, I thought that those guys were what the Slenderman trailer was like referring to. I was like, oh gosh, it's the scary guy with like the no face from that thing I saw. So I was like really freaking out, and like it didn't help that the first time we watched it, it was at a hotel, so I wasn't familiar with the space, and also it was like right before bed, so I had to go to bed, and like it was really bad. I think I ended up staying up all night. Like I was like trying to fall asleep. I was like, I can't do this. Like every shadow, like in my mind, like formed to look like one of those, and I was like, the Slenderman's gonna get me. So like, I like got out of bed and just snuck onto like a computer and looked at the Dork Diaries website for the rest of the night, I think. So yeah, Slenderman was my exposure to creepypasta before I even knew what a creepypasta was. So then later on, I think I was at church in Sunday school, and some of the older kids were watching a video on their phone, but they wouldn't show me. But I was so confused because it was playing a My Little Pony song, and I was like, I love My Little Pony, why can't I see? And they were like, you don't want to see this, kid. And I was like, oh, okay. So after going down like a creepypasta rabbit hole in recent years, I realized that was probably like the smile.exe or whatever the freaking thing is called, or like a cupcakes video. Because I remember it distinctly being Pinkie Pie's voice, but I don't remember exactly which song it was, but it was definitely Pinkie Pie, and I was like, oh, but I love Pinkie Pie and Rainbow Dash. And they were like, no, you cannot watch this, and I was like, oh, okay. So I found out about My Little Pony creepypastas, and I was like, oh, this is cool. Even though they're all, like, insanely edgy and, like, gratuitous. Like, cupcakes especially. I have a huge soft spot for it. I have no nostalgia for it, because I've discovered it only, like, kind of recently. But it's so absurd and goofy. Like, it's, like, gory. Like, it's so gory that it's not even, like, disturbing anymore. It's just ridiculous. Like, it's like basically cartoon violence, except there's blood. Like, it's unhinged, dude. Like, but I don't know, I think it's really interesting. So yeah, cupcakes, I really love cupcakes. It's so stupid, dude, but I love it. Because it's just so fun. I have such love for, like, the older, like, edgy, cringe creepypastas, because they're so fun. Like, I have great appreciation for anything that feels like it was made out of love and with sincerity. Like, if something was made for fun and, like, with passion, then I will have so much more, like, respect for it. Like, you can be, like, the worst written thing in the universe, but if I can at least, like, feel that the writer, liked what they were doing and was, like, really excited about it, then it's, like, I'd rather read that over, like, a really well-written story that has, like, absolutely no soul to it. In all honesty. It's just... I don't know, dude. I have no issues with cringe, dude. So, like, my tolerance for, like, cringe is so high. Like, I read freaking, Nina the Killer, which is, like, Jeff the Killer, but, like, about, like, a fangirl who, like, ends up becoming, like, Jeff the Killer's girlfriend. It's basically, like, Harley Quinn and the Joker, but for creepypasta fans. And she's, like, a Mary Sue. I adore Mary Sues. They're so fun. 'Cause, like, they're always... Like, I feel like they're always made with so much love and sincerity. Like, those are, like, they're not cynical. And, like, I feel like cynicism in art is such a freaking disease, dude. It sucks. And, like, trying to make everything that you make, like, perfect and, like, oh, I can't do this, otherwise people will think I'm, like, cringe and weird. Like, dude, it sucks. I hate that kind of stuff. And I hate, like, people who make fun of, people for making, like, cringy art. Like, at least they're having fun, dude. Like, just let people make the things that they want to make. It's not hurting anybody. Like, as long as you're not creating something, like, gross or, like, illegal, like, freaking, like, incest or some shit, like, something gross like that, then, if you're not doing stuff like that, then create what you want, dude. Like, make your magical girl OC with, like, rainbow hair and, like, half demon, half princess, wolf hybrid, whatever. Make your Princess Sparkle Dust OC who everyone in the universe is in love with. Who cares? Like, there's so much shit going on in the world, like, just do what you love. If, like, writing a crappy creepypasta with hyper-realistic blood and, like, oh, and the blacked out eyes, if that makes you happy, then do it. I don't know, dude. I feel like people have become so scared of being silly and of being silly that, like, cause, like, the internet is so mean. Thankfully I haven't experienced that personally, but, like, I've seen some horrible shit, dude. People are so mean to people, for, like, no reason, and it sucks. So, yeah, if you want to write, like a creepypasta, but or, like, an analog horror, but you're like, oh, what if people think it's, like, stupid? What if people think it's, like, oh, this is lame? Just do it. Like, don't let fear hold you back from making something that you love. Like, I feel like I went on a bit of a tangent there, but, like, I'm sorry, I'm extremely passionate about this specific, like, topic, and creepypastas, like, reading these old, like, creepypastas, like, before people were scared of, like, being called, like, cringe losers on the internet, it makes me so happy, because, like, they're, like, people were just, like, having fun and doing, like, stupid shit, and it's awesome. Like Jeff the Killer. I'm gonna talk about Jeff the Killer now. He's not my favorite. I'm gonna save my favorite one for later. But I have a lot of love for Jeff the Killer. And I think I've honestly, I think most of it is honestly, like, from consuming a lot of, postures videos. And, like, cause that guy, they love Jeff the Killer, and like, they've converted me. Like, beforehand, I, like, vaguely knew of Jeff the Killer. I didn't know the story or anything, but I knew of the image, but I just wasn't really interested. But then I started seeing Poster, like, talk about, Jeff the Killer, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna, like, look this up and, like, do some research. And I loved this story, 'cause it sucks. And I love it for that. Like, it, I think it was said in, a stream that Quinneman did with Postra and Dags, like a bunch of, YouTubers that I really love. Like, they were reading creepypastas, and while they were reading Jeff the Killer, one of them said that it felt like there should be an anime adaptation of this, 'cause, like, the fight scenes are actually really well written. Like, the dialogue, and, like, the actual horror of it is kind of goofy, but the fight scenes are, like, I can picture them really well in my head. Like, I can, like, visualize, like, basically every action scene, like, almost perfectly in my head, and, like the freaking Naruto style. Like, I feel like that would fit so well. So yeah, I have no idea who, like, so props to, like, the author, because, like, the fight scenes are actually really good, in spite of all the other flaws. There is actually some good stuff in here, at least in my opinion. I think they're well written, but I also don't write action scenes, so I don't know. But yeah, it's so silly. It's so silly, and I love it for being silly. Like, he keeps getting a weird feeling. Not like a bad feeling, but just like a weird feeling. And, like, just take a shot every time that the word feeling is said. And at the beginning, its introduction is like, after Jeff has become Jeff the Killer, he, like, attacks some kid at his house, and the kid is, like, giving his, like, eyewitness testimony, but he speaks, like, very eloquently. He's like, there, illuminated in the darkness, I saw a pair of two eyes, which doesn't make any sense, but it's so fun, it's so silly, I love it so much, and, like, and then, like, how he becomes Jeff the Killer is, he, like, snaps and goes sicko mode and, like, kills all his bullies. One of them he, like, punches in the chest so hard his heart stops. And then, like, he, like, goes up to the bathroom with, like, one of them, and, like, he trips on, like, and, like, knocks over a thing of bleach, not like a container, not a bottle, just a thing of bleach, and it, like, falls on him, and he got, like, vodka or something poured on him, even though, like, this was all taking place at, like, an 8-year-old's birthday party. They had access to vodka, and then, like, the last surviving bully is like, heh, and then Jeff's like, what are you laughing about? And then, like, the last one's like, what I'm laughing about is you're covered in bleach and alcohol, and then, like, he sets him on fire, and then, like, Jeff wakes up at the hospital, but instead of being, like, looking like freaking Freddy Krueger, his skin is, like, bleached perfectly white, and his hair is still, like, totally fine and intact, but it's, like, burned from brown to black. It's not singed off or anything, it's just black now. Like, it just, like, dyed his hair. And, like, it made, like, his lips blood red. He turned into Snow White. Biblically accurate Snow White. And then, like, he goes home, and he's, like, out of nowhere, he's, like, stopped being, like, an edgy teenager, and he's, oh, gracious, I dropped something, sorry, but, like, out of nowhere, he's, like, no longer an edgy teenager, like, Mom, I don't have time for, like, some kid's party, in case you hadn't noticed, I'm not a kid anymore, I'm 13, so instead of being like that after he gets home from the hospital, he's like, okay, Mommy, and then, like, that night, the mom finds Jeff in, like, the bathroom, having, like, cut his mouth into a smile to look like the freaking Joker, and then, like, apparently he, like, burned his eyelids off so that he could see his beautiful face. And then, like, the mom's like, "Oh, you're so pretty, sweetie," and she, like, sneaks out and, like, goes to the dad. She's like, "Honey, get the gun!" and then he's like, "Mommy, you lied to me!" And then, oh my gosh, and then he kills, his family. But he also kills, like, his little brother for, like, no reason, even though, like, literally all of this started because the bullies were, like, trying to, like, mug his brother, so he beat up the bullies, and, like, literally everything he's done in the story has been, like, to protect his brother, but then at the end he just kills him for no reason. It's so stupid, and I love it. I love Jeff the Killer. It's so stupid. It's so stupid, and I love it. Because it's having so much fun being nonsense. Like, this was definitely written by, like, some, like, 14-year-old, but I think that's because I feel like 14-year, like, going back to my earlier tangent, I feel like 14-year-olds and, like, kids these days don't know how to have fun. But, like, I feel like I don't hate the internet at all. I love the internet because it's very fun, and that's how I can contact, like, all of my friends. And, like, half of my friends I met online. But, like, I feel like there's definitely been a negative side to it, where, like, kids are, like, so, like, hyper aware that of, like, people, like, knowing everything, like, being, I'm trying to, like, put this into words, like so many kids, like, will, like, post everything about themselves online, and, like, on the internet nothing really disappears, so I feel like a lot of people are scared to, like, let themselves be, like, cringe and silly, because they don't want to be picked on, and I feel like the internet has made that kind of worse. I feel like, because, like, I don't know, man, but, like, I remember, like, if I had found creepypastas as a kid somehow, I probably would have been terrified, but I think I would have also loved them, like this, like Coraline, like Coraline and, like, the Haunted Mansion and stuff. Like, a lot of the things I loved as a kid were things that had scared me, but I grew to appreciate the more I, like, consumed about them. And, like, I feel like I would have loved creepypastas. I would have 100% had a creepypasta. Whoops. I 100% would have had a creepypasta phase. Like, I would have made Nina the Killer. But not Nina the Killer. It would have been, it would have been Laughing Gabby, because okay. So now we're getting into my favorite creepypasta character. I love Laughing Jack. Surprise, surprise, the clown character loves the clown character. But yeah, I love his design. I think his story is actually kind of interesting, at least the version that I know. So the version of Laughing Jack that I know is that, this, like, clown started out as, like, this kid's imaginary friend, but, like, he was, like, a colorful, happy clown, but then as the kid got older, he started to, like, kind of forget about him, like, I don't need an imaginary friend anymore, but then, like, one day, like, after he's, like, either a teenager or, all grown up, I don't fully remember, but, at some point, the kid, after he's, like, older, starts, like, having, like, hallucinations of, like, his old childhood, imaginary friend, but instead of being, like, colorful and cheerful, it's, like, monochromatic and, like, fucked up and evil, and, I think that's cool, dude. I genuinely think that's a really cool concept, and again, I just like his design, and I could fix him. But yeah, I just think he's neat. I think he's nifty. Cause, is this just because I like clowns? Maybe, I don't know, but I do like clowns, and I think he's really cool as, like, a scary clown. And also just, like, the concept. Because, like, the concept genuinely is really cool. Like, because, like, I think it's part of why, mascot horror is so big. Like, the idea of something from your childhood, like, something that's, like, nostalgic and, like, innocent, but then as you, like, come back to it later, it's, like, really fucked up and, like, darker. Like, this isn't a Five Nights at Freddy's video, I'll make that someday, but Five Nights at Freddy's, a lot of the initial appeal for that, was, like, evil Chuck E. Cheese. Like, I went to Chuck E. Cheese, not a lot, but I definitely did go, more than once as a kid with my grandma, and I really liked it. The one thing I hated about it was the mascots walking around, because I genuinely have, like, a huge phobia of mascots. I hate them. I hate them so much, because, like, you never know who's in there, and it freaks me out, and, like, I don't like not being able to see their expression, like, who's in there, and, like, what they're thinking. Like, it just freaks me out, dude. Which is funny, because I actually really liked I like masked characters, but for some reason, mascots, like, really fuck me up. Like, characters with limited expressions, like my girl Polly here, the big lady with the bangs, I like characters with, like, limited expressions. Like, you can never see her eyes unless, like, it's, like, a gag, or, like, I'm trying to, like, draw her, like, super realistically, but that's, like, charming. But for some reason, mascots, like, they freak me out so much, and I think the reason for that is because they're meant to be, characters from, like, your childhood, and, like, something, like, really, like, sweet, but in, like, a giant mascot form, they, like, really freak me out for some reason. Like, I hated the mascots at Disney, dude. I hated it so much. Like, one time, I did a meet and greet with, like, freaking Mickey Mouse at Animal Kingdom, and I was, like, so tense, and I hated it. Like, it was, I don't like mascots. But yeah, getting back to Laughing Jack, because I went off track. Bars, anyway. Yeah, I think the concept of, like, an imaginary friend, like, becoming, like, less alive and, like, more desaturated and, like, resentful after their kid grows up, I think that's really interesting. I think that would make, like, a really good, and I think that would make, like, a really good, like, horror movie or something, and I can't really think of anything other than, like, Laughing Jack that does that concept. I'm sure it exists somewhere, there's nothing new under the sun, but yeah, Laughing Jack is the only thing I know of that does that concept, and it was my introduction to that idea, and it's just a really cool idea, and I don't think it's, like, horribly executed, in all honesty. I think it's relative, like, in terms of, like, the, like, super iconic, quote-unquote cringe creepypastas, I think Laughing Jack is actually relatively, like, well-written, compared to Jeff the Killer. It's not a high bar, but I think it's really good. I think it's very fun, and I enjoy it quite a bit, and Laughing Jack is my favorite of all the creepypasta characters, because he's a clown, and I like the idea of him, and I just think he's neat, you know? I just think he's cool. Now I kind of want to talk about, some other creepypastas that I'm not quite as passionate about, but I feel like I want to talk about them, just because they're also, like, really iconic. Like, Sonic.exe, I don't know a ton about, like, the lore. Apparently the lore is, like, incredibly deep. Because when I first heard about it, I thought it was just, like, the evil game, the game is possessed by the evil Sonic, and he'll Sonic the kill you. if you play the game, he'll steal your soul and like kill you and stuff. And I thought that was the extent of it, but apparently there's a ton of lore that I don't know, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I have the mental capacity to hold all that information, because I know it's gonna push out it's gonna like force out something else that I care more about in my brain to make room for all that, and I can't. That's a bit too much for me. I respect it. I don't respect the creator though, because apparently they're a total asshole. But yeah, Sonic.exe, I have no attachment to Sonic either, because I didn't grow up with it, and I still haven't really consumed any Sonic stuff. I like looking at like fan art and stuff. Like I've seen like a lot of like comics and stuff, and I think it's really cool. So I'm like an incredibly casual Sonic enjoyer. Like if it pops up, if anything for it like pops up on like my feed, I'll look at it and be like, oh, that's cool. But I know nothing about like official Sonic, except for like a few episodes of like some Netflix show that I watched with my little brother, where like he was like traveling through dimensions, and like there was like an evil universe where Dr. Robotnik like took over and like everything was like steampunk. Well, not really steampunk, but you know what I mean. And like Amy was like a robot, and it was really bad, and there was a resistance, but then Tails was like emo because Sonic abandoned them or something, so he became like a villain or something. I know nothing of Sonic. But yeah, I watched some of that show. So Sonic.exe doesn't mean a ton to me. Was that bars too? I don't know. But I still think it's kind of cool. It's how I feel about Sonic.exe is kind of the way I feel about Sonic in general. Like I don't really seek it out. Like it isn't super important to me. But if I see it, I'll be like, oh, that's cool, and I'll look at it. Like you know what I mean? Like it doesn't mean a ton to me, but I still have respect for it, and I think it's kind of cool. But it just I don't know, dude. I don't have the energy to get into it. Like if I ever get into Sonic, it'll be naturally. I don't like to force myself to get into things just because I feel like I should. But anyway, Sonic tangent over. I also really like lost episode creepypastas in general. None of them are like my favorite creepypasta, but the genre as a whole I really enjoy. I think it's my favorite type of creepypasta, if that makes sense. Even though none of them are like my favorite creepypasta, I think like the genre is really cool. And honestly, I was kind of thinking of doing like before I put out like the October schedule, I was like mulling over what I wanted to do for Halloween, and initially I was gonna try and do a lost episode creepypasta for the Amazing Digital Circus, and I still think that's a really fun idea, and I might still do that someday, but I had a lot on my plate for October, and I didn't really feel like tackling on this huge writing project too. But yeah, it's if I ever make it, it's basically just gonna be like a love letter to like the cringe creepypastas, like, and cringe and like said in an affectionate, loving way. Because I love that shit, dude. It's so fun, and I don't know. I love creepypastas. I love them. Just like they make me they spark so much joy. They make me very happy, and they're not really that scary, so it isn't. I don't really lose anything by consuming them, like I do with like horror movies. Like I can get like that little thrill of like reading something kind of spooky, but it doesn't really stick with me as like being horrific. There are some exceptions, of course, and basically all of them are from Lavender Town's Creepy Drostas. a lot of those stories kind of fucked with me. The ones that, like, really, like, make me uncomfortable and, like, scared, the first one that comes to mind is the showers. That one is so... Oh, dude. It's, like, this guy, like, goes on a trip with his friends and he gets lost, and he finds, like, the location of, like, a place that his, like, teacher told him about, as, like, a spooky story, but it turns out it's real, and then, like, he ends up falling through the floor into, like, the basement or whatever, and down there's, like, a bunch of, like, do you know, like, Sadako from The Ring? Yeah, they all look like that, like, a bunch of, like, little, like, figures like that, and like, it's pitch dark, and he's, like, hit his head, so he's having a hard time, like, moving around, and he's, like, clinging to the wall so that he can, like, he doesn't fall into, like, another pit or whatever, and, like, he, like, accidentally finds, like, a shower head, and, like, he accidentally, like, turns it on, and it's, like, dripping, like, freaking blood or whatever, and it's so gross, and I don't like it, I hate it so much. I didn't describe it super well, but if you want to be scared by a creepypasta, the showers, do that one. It's so awful. It's well written, though. It's, like, good. But it's scary, dude. It scared me. I don't like it. So yeah, if I'm listening to, like, the Creepypasta playlist while I'm doing something, I'll usually skip that one if I'm, like, already getting kind of nervous. Another one that I really like, it scares me a little bit, but not as bad as the showers, is Charles Bonnet syndrome, where this guy, gets, diagnosed with diabetes, and it, like, completely, like, ruined his eyes so that he can't really see very well. He's essentially blind. But then randomly he starts seeing, like, really weird shit, like, perfectly clear. Like, he sees, like, an old-timey hearse wagon, like, in his living room. And then, like, worst of all, he sees, like, this lady, with, like, her face covered except for her mouth, and she's, like, always smiling, and she's, like, wearing, like, a suit, she's, like, wearing, like, a suit top, she's basically dressed like, a magician's assistant, or, like, freaking, Zatanna from DC, and she's got, like, a bowler hat, and, like, a third arm, like, spreading from her back, like a scorpion tail, it's described like, and he, like, convinces himself, like, okay, this is just, like, a hallucination, whatever, but then, like, as soon as he's, like, finally, like, reassured himself, he, like, goes to bed and he, like, jokingly says, good night, and then, like, as soon as he closes his eyes, like, he hears, like, good night, and then he's like, oh shit, and that's how it ends, and I love it. It's so creepy. It did make me, like, a little nervous, like, see things, like, out of the corner of my eye, but, like, I feel like it wasn't, like, the intense anxiety and paranoia that I got from, like, the showers, even though, like, the showers is, like, completely something that would never ever happen to me, because I don't go anywhere, especially not into the middle of nowhere without any sense of where I'm going, but yeah, Charles Bonnet syndrome, very good, and the monster is kind of hot, but that's neither here nor there, so yeah, basically anything in the Lavender Town Creepypasta playlist, like I said, is really good. There was one that, that when I was watching Blair Witch Project, like, I couldn't stop thinking about, like, I was like, this is exactly like that one, and I believe it was called, Turn It Off, about these two boys that, like, go, out into the backyard, like, to the woods, like, in one of their backyards while their parents are out, because one of them was, like, kind of scared to be home alone, and so they tell each other, like, scary stories in the middle of the night, like, before they go to bed, because they're idiots, but then, like, they wake up and, like, hear something outside, so they go outside to, like, check out what it is, but then by the time, they get back to their tent, all their stuff is like outside of the tent, but not like thrown out like an animal or something. It's like very neatly folded, and they're like, hey, turn off the light, this is really fucked up. So they turn off the light and they like try to like sneak away, but then they hear like this like clicking noise, and then like it starts like mimicking their words back to them. And at least in the Lavender Town version, because I know she changed the ending, but I don't remember what the original was. But in the Lavender Town ending, one of the boys like decides to run for it, even though that'll make a ton of noise, and it's implied that he died and got caught by the monster. And it's really it reminded me so much of the Blair Witch Project, because most of that story is just them stumbling around in the woods in the dark, trying desperately to find their way back to the house. But for some reason, like, they were only like a couple feet from the house when they set up the tent. But for some reason, as soon as they're like alone being pursued by the monster in the middle of the night, they're like in the middle of the woods instead, like with no like even sign of anything, even like resembling society. And it's so fucked, and I loved it in the story, even though it scared me really bad. But the Blair Witch Project made me cry, like a little baby. I think it's cause with the creepypasta, there was like that separation of reality, because there was a monster that like was definitely there and you could see, and it was very clearly something supernatural. But with the Blair Witch Project, it could be supernatural, or it could just be them going completely insane, and that scared me really bad, and I hated it. But yeah, yeah, creepypastas are awesome. The good ones are really good, and the bad ones are just really fun. And yeah, I love them. Even though I didn't grow up with them, they still mean a lot to me, and I think they're awesome, and they should make a comeback. And I really want to make one, because they're fun. well, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, please leave a like. I would appreciate it. And feel free to subscribe to keep up with whatever my next video ends up being, because honestly, I'm just really burnt out from doing a lot of stuff this October, getting ready for Halloween, and settling in after moving, and doing like the OC-tober, which I really enjoyed. I'll definitely do this again next year. But yeah, I'll probably have a poll up eventually to decide the next video, or I'll just pick something. But for now, I hope you have a great night, day, or whatever time it is where you are. Happy Halloween!